baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. This is gonna be a great day. We have a fantastic guest. Get up, baby, this morning. This is Elio Piedra. Another morning means another coffee because this is morning coffee with Elio. And today I'm excited as we keep celebrating class 2020 to have Cady Casellas live from Miami. She's a recent graduate of the University of Florida with a Bachelor of Science in Telecommunications, Digital Film and TV Production. She created Chisme con Cady, which is gossiping with Cady. Games Just Only Latin music show. She produced the show from 2019 to 2020 on 95.3 FM GHQ. And by the way, we are also going to be talking about a mini documentary that she produced about my story when I came from Cuba. Super exciting. Without further introduction, let's welcome to Morning Coffee with Elio, Cady Casellas. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very excited to have you here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Happy graduation.
Yeah, I can't believe it after 4 years.
Yes.
So
So
exciting.
how does it feel to finally graduate and accomplish your goals in
It's so
college?
crazy. It's so crazy. You always knew that this day would come, but it came so fast, and then it was it was very unexpected. Graduating in the middle of a pandemic and everything. We
Yeah.
haven't had a ceremony yet, like our physical ceremony. We had a virtual graduation, so it doesn't feel like 100% real yet. It just kind of feels like, oh, I'm back home. It's the summer, and I'll be back in the fall, but I'm not. Like, I'm graduated. I have my degree already. Which
Yes.
is very unreal, but also surreal.
Yeah, and how did you guys feel with having the ceremony? What do you guys use, like Zoom stuff like that?
So the College of Journalism and Communications, they put together a pre-recorded slideshow where they had an announcer like say everybody's name, and they went by degree and everything in our college. So it was kind of like just a slideshow with our picture. We got to send in a little like message for our family, and it said our degree and everything like that. And it kind of basically it took like 5 seconds for me to graduate instead of walking across the stage like usual. Um, but yeah, it's like a Facebook live stream. That's what they did for us. So
That
I'm
is
grateful for that.
Yeah, but it is awesome. The fact that you guys, found ways to still have your ceremony and and have some moments of encouragement and some moments to feel motivated, to feel that actually you accomplished something because actually you did because you did.
Yeah.
An amazing dream to graduate from college, and I want to congratulate you for that. And I'm very happy to talk about a lot of stuff, Cady, this morning. So,
Yeah.
hey, hello, Miami.
Yeah. I mean, I'm actually in Pembroke Pines, so I'm kind of close to Miami.
Yes.
Not
Well,
really.
actually, I perform in Pembroke Pines. They have like a village, like a theater over there. We did a
Yeah.
whole tour from Key West to New York, and I remember that I went there. I really liked it. It is a beautiful place. So, talk to me, Cady. For example, what led you to TV productions and communications? Talk to me about that.
So, when I went to high school, I went to like one of those high schools where you get your associate's degree at 17, you graduate with your associate's degree and your high school diploma. And I went in not really knowing what I wanted to do like as a career. I had absolutely no idea. And one day I was just talking with my friend, and she was like, "Oh, like that local entertainment news segment that they have on Channel 7, Deco Drive." And I was like, "Yeah, I love that show. I've been watching it since I was a kid." She's like, "You would be really good on there. Like, you love like music and the arts, pop culture. Like, you love talking about it. Like, that would be your thing." And I'm like, "Oh, like that's kind of like me. Okay, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll do something like that." So I got my degree, my associate's degree in journalism, and then I transferred into UF, thinking that I would do like news. So I was in news for about a year, and then I switched over to journalism. And I went through those two tracks. I was like, "Oh, they're not really for me." So then I came across production. I saw that a lot of my friends were in production too, and I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool." Like, I'm like, maybe I'll try that out. Okay. So at the same time, when I first got to UF, I joined GHQ by chance. So I was just sitting outside on the bench there, and I saw my friend from high school. It's like, hey, like, Kaylin, how are you doing? Everything? And, oh, good. How are you? Oh, like, this is really cool. What is this music that's playing outside of the college? Like, I didn't know that we had like a pop station here. And she was like telling me about it. Oh, I'm actually a part of it. Oh, wow, what a coincidence. So like, then I joined it, and I was just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this as like a hobby. Like, I want to be a celebrity reporter. That's kind of like the end goal. But then I actually like fell more in love with it than like reporting. So I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, yeah, I'm gonna continue this. So when I switched over my junior year to production, I was doing like learning about video editing and storytelling and all that. But at the same time, I was like producing my own like radio show and like hosting that every Friday. Oh, I mean, it's switched like the times that I had my show until I created She's Michael and Katie. Then that was more consistent. But everything was by chance, just like talking to my friends and my friends motivating me. So having like those kind of people that I feel like at times they know you better than you know yourself, because they're like, oh yeah, like that's really you. And then I'm like, oh, I'd never thought about that. Wow, like you see that in me. And then yeah, that's how I found my love for radio. So
Well,
everything.
actually, I've been following you on social media, on especially TikTok. If you like TikTok, you better go
Yeah.
and check Katie on TikTok because
Yeah,
I
at
mean,
hello Cady. Hello Kitty.
hey, you are very funny and fun,
Thank you.
and people. I feel entertained every time I see you on TikTok. Like it is, you have great content over
Thank
there,
you.
and I mean, I encourage you guys, my morning coffee community, if they like TikTok, if you guys like TikTok, go right now. Well, after the show.
There's not much else to do. I started doing that a little bit before the pandemic happened. And then when that happened, I was like, I have online school now. What else is there to do? I love dancing. I didn't mention dance was my like outside concentration. So I took classes in the dance college at UF. So I'm like, you know what? Why not start to get into some of these dances? Okay. And then, yeah, I started making my own content. So
Exactly. No, you are doing well done. So
thank you.
let me ask you: you've been producing this show for a whole year now.
Yeah.
You just finished college. So what is the your favorite memory about this Latin show?
Oh, it's hard to pick just one. I mean, I think one of my like favorites, of course, is like getting like the opportunity to host that every night, like every Friday night, excuse me, every show. That was one of my like favorite memories, just getting in the studio, and it's like it's different when you're on the other end, because like growing up and listening to like the radio hosts, I'm like, wow, like how do they just do that? That's so like they're just so conversational. But then when you're on the other end, it's like wow, like you just get this like adrenaline, like being there, and like when you press the button, the on button for the mic, and you're just like, oh, I'm about to go on air, and you actually do it. Like you feel this rush. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm bringing this music. I control like the mood for the people that are listening, like the vibes and everything like that. With every song that I pick, every topic that I cover and talk about, your energy that you give, like when you go on air, everything that you do, like when you're a radio personality, you're like having this effect on your listeners, and so like having that kind of like it's just it's crazy.
I know.
That was one of my favorite things that I got
It,
to do.
Yeah, I actually I relate to it because it's like when I'm performing that it's not like you are in control, but it's like you can actually pass your energy to so many people in the room,
Yeah,
so many people at the event, and then you can feel the energy by people having fun. In this case, your listeners probably having a good time on
yeah.
their cars or their office. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things too was that like every time I had my show, I would go into the group chat that we had for the Hispanic Student Association and be like, "Hey guys, like my show's coming on, like like if you didn't already know, and like starting at 7 on Friday." And then they'd be tuning in, and some of them would like message me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, Katie, I love this song. This I grew up listening to this song. Like it reminds me of like my childhood, or like oh, it reminds me of like when my mom would wake me up in the morning cleaning the house or something like that. Like this old song, like things like that. Just like the fact that you can bring up like memories that people have had just through music, and it's all on you because there's like millions of songs out there, but you're the one that you're choosing the playlist, so you're controlling like the mood for the entire show. And then on top of that, like picking topics that like that the community relates to, the Hispanic community, people that love like Hispanic culture, like you're bringing these topics on air, what like you choose like what you want your listeners to know. So that's a big power to have, like a big like privilege to
So
have.
what
So
type of topics, for example? Can you mention any topics that you
yeah.
remember?
Oh gosh. Okay. One of my my favorite honor breaks was when I had my like Halloween Dia de los Muertos show. So it was on like a Friday night. It was November 1st. And so that happened on Dia de los Muertos. And I mentioned like so it was a mix of Halloween and Dia de los Muertos, but this particular break was about Halloween costumes. And I put together I found like online, I was like, oh, what are some cool costumes that people are coming up with that like are with like Hispanic culture? So I found like so many different like pictures. I'm trying to think of some of the costumes, but one of them, I know you probably know about this. So like on like Noche Buena and stuff like that, like how you cook like the pig and like the la caja china, like the
Oh
box.
yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah. So somebody put their little like maybe like a few month old baby in a pig costume and put them in a cardboard box and wrote La Caja China on the side.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I started talking about stuff like that on the air, and I turned off the mic after the break. I can't remember if I had a friend in the studio or what, but I just thought to myself, I was like, that was one of my best breaks ever. Like that was my favorite break because it just felt it was not only something funny, it was fun. Like you could feel like the energy, and it was just like I don't even know. It was amazing. I got off of that and I'm like, wow, I'm proud of what I put together. That was a really good break.
Yeah, I am proud of that too, and I can feel the energy and the passion that you have for what you do. That is amazing. Okay, Katie. So let me ask you, how do you used to start your show? Show me right now. How do you used to start your show? The introduction for your show.
Oh gosh. Okay, I haven't done this in a few months, so bear with me since like March. Um oh gosh. Okay. You're like, hey, I'm Cady Casellas, and you're listening to Chisme con Katie, Gainesville's only Latin music show on 95.3 FM GHQ. Today I got a lot of hit Latin music for you. I got some throwbacks, and I got a lot of cool chismes, so you better stay tuned. Make sure you stay tuned to 95.3 FM.
I
So
love it.
wow, I haven't done that in a few months, so
Hey, I'm
it's been
telling
a bit.
you, you are very talented. You are gifted. You know, you have a lot of charisma. And by the way, for our listeners, chisme, it is like go sipping, like
Yeah, like gossiping.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it is very funny. You know, it is
Yeah.
very engaging. You know,
And it kind
so
of has a negative connotation actually. So some people don't know that. But like, when you say that somebody's a chismosa, like that's kind of like, kind of like a negative thing. It's like a bad thing. But the way that I took it, when I created the show, one of the things that I'm really passionate about is like pop culture, celebrity news. So I was like, oh, chisme, like that's something in our community that like kind of like is universal. And it's like I applied it to entertainment since that's a part of me since I wanted to become an entertainment reporter previously. So I kind of like encompass like all my personalities in one. And I'm also a musician myself. So music is like one of my passions, and that's how I came into radio also. So I wanted to encompass that in the show. So that's where Cheese.
that is awesome. Okay,
Thanks.
what instrument do you play? You're a musician. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I play euphonium and trombone. It's been a while, but I'm actually a part of a music fraternity as well. So yeah, I'm
Fantastic.
in the
That
theater
is
band, all of that, marching band, concert band. Yeah.
that is awesome. So talking about entertainment and that you wanting to become like a celebrity reporter in the music industry and all of that, we are gonna be talking about when we come back. We're gonna take a quick break, but you stay right there. We're gonna be talking about a mini documentary that actually Katie did for me, and they killed it. What an
Thank
amazing
you.
job! And we're gonna be talking about the whole process, and we're gonna be talking about so much stuff when we come back. So you stay right there because this is Morning Coffee with Elio with Cady Casellas. Yes, we're coming back in just. This is Morning Coffee with Elio. This is gonna be a great day. We have a fantastic guest right now. So we are coming back after this break. Welcome back to Morning Coffee with Elio. We have the pleasure to have Cady Casellas. She is a graduate from University of Florida. In case you are just tuning in, and she is so passionate about TV production and telecommunication, and one of her dreams is to become like a celebrity reporter in the music and entertainment industry. So, Katie, talk to me about how was the process doing all this the documentary that you were doing about myself actually, but it was for a class. So, talk to me a little bit about that and how you guys actually accomplished this in a way that you guys were be assumed, but it was so well done. So
Thank
talk to me
you.
about that.
Yeah, so I majored in telecommunication on the digital film and television production track, and I took this documentary production senior workshop with Houston Wells, and I was put into a small group of 4 people, and basically we had to spend the entire semester telling one person's story. So we chose Elio. And we had the pleasure of telling his story, and we wanted it to be more personal. We wanted it to be more than just your business, your career. We wanted it to be you, your family, your life, where you came from, your personality. We wanted that to shine through in the documentary. So we came across an article that a reporter did in the Alligator, and we were reading it as a group, and then we were just like, wow, like he has such a personality, he has such a great story, and this is a great article, but we think it would also be great to translate his story into a visual format. So that's where we came in with the documentary. And so we came together, we had some like pre-interview questions, and we called you on the phone. We messaged you beforehand, and we were like, hey, like, would you be interested, and everything like that. We pitched your story to our professor, and he loved the idea. And so we interviewed you, and we interviewed you in your morning coffee podcast studio. And yeah, we went to Felipe's, and we got you in action there, interacting with the crowd, performing. That was the sadly, like, that was the only B-roll footage that we were able to get because of the pandemic. But we made everything work very well. Like you said, we had to meet with each other through Zoom. So actually video editing on one person's laptop. So Cynthia, she's the one that video edited on her end. And we all, like, called in on Zoom, and we were like, hey, like, maybe you can like switch around this part would go better on like towards the end, that kind of stuff. So we ended up finishing the documentary, and it was called El Ritmo Cubano. It's on YouTube under my YouTube, Cady Casellas. Like, you could see it on there. Yeah, and we interviewed your wife, Yarelis, and that was also a pleasure. It was great. And yeah, we were just so proud of how the story came out, especially for like the circumstances that we're, going through right now with the pandemic and everything. We couldn't go and get more footage of you, get footage of your family, but we still were able to tell your story just through that one interview that we were able to get. And I'm just really proud of how it came out with everything. So
Yes, I love how confident you are, and I love that, because you should be proud of that. I mean, you guys need to go and watch it on YouTube. I don't know how many views he has right now, but it is amazing. It is really well done, well produced. The music, the transitions, the story, and actually, let me tell you, it is so hard to do such a long story in like, how long, like 8 minutes, 7 minutes, something like that.
Yeah, just about. And the thing is, too, a lot of documentaries, they're done over time. But because of the length of this class, only having the semester and then having the semester shortened because of the pandemic, we had even less time. So we actually started working on the story about like maybe February, after getting, like the kind of the script that we wanted to get together. And then actually filming, probably we only had like maybe a few weeks to like a month or so. And that's just like unheard of with documentary, like the documentaries that you see on Netflix and Hulu, all that kind of stuff in the movies, like they're done over long periods of time. But we put this your story together in just like a few months. So
Yeah.
I'm really proud of like how my group, got everything together. I think
Yeah,
it's really great.
let's shout out to all of them. You guys did an
Yeah.
amazing job.
Cynthia, Caroline, Naz.
Yes. So let me, if I ask you, after, I mean, you just graduated once again. You just did this amazing documentary. You have done so many different projects, radio. I don't know. Have you worked on TV yet? TV
No,
production.
no, I haven't done TV. I did some. I was a part of an organization called Pop Media TV at UF for a little bit. I did like one little kind of like a TV spot on YouTube. We did like a little segment. But no, I haven't done TV yet. But radio is the career that I'm pursuing. So like I have my degree in video production, everything like that. But I'm going to take those skills and I'm going to apply them to my radio career. So that's where
Awesome.
I'm headed.
And you're gonna be so successful because you have that charisma and you have that passion. The passion takes human beings as far as they wanna go. So I wanted to ask you, what do you, after these years at UF, what do you wish you have known when you started out?
Hmm.
Think about one thing.
Yeah, I think the big thing would be to just do what you love and like don't let other people tell you like what you should be doing. Because if I didn't like listen to myself, I would have stayed in the news track or the journalism track, and I honestly like I probably would have been miserable
Yeah.
because it wasn't something that I was passionate about. And when I decided to switch to production, that's where I became more happier. So I would say like make sure that you're studying something that you're passionate about, something that you love and that you can see yourself doing, not to please other people. So
I love it. Oh my gosh. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That is so awesome. But there is something that people always say, and I'll tell you this. People think that telecommunications, especially being a journalist, being a reporter of any type, you can be on the news, you can be on the entertainment industry. People think that it can be very stressful and overwhelming to the point that they may think that it is too much to handle. What do you think people sometimes think that way?
I think like with the way that like society is now, we're kind of like bombarded by like news 24/7, every like social media posts 24/7. So it can be like it is a stressful career. You constantly have all this information being thrown at you, whether it's factual or not, and you have to be the one as like the communicator to decide what you're putting for your audience. So it's you have that responsibility to tell the truth, and like we know that going into the career as communicators that like yeah, your reputation's on the line, but like you're also the one that's you're feeding the news to these people, you're feeding these facts to these people, this information. So you have that responsibility that you need to make sure that whatever information you're being thrown at, like you have to pick and choose what you know is the truth and what you are okay and what and and like presenting to these people to the public. So I think that that's why a lot of people see it as a stressful career, especially now. Like everyone's talking about like the pandemic, and that's what you see a lot on the news because it's like the thing that's happening. It's like the most one of the most important things that's happening in the world right now. So it is a stressful career, but it's also a really important one. So
Yeah, and I always said, the harder it is, the sweeter the victory, right?
yeah,
So I'm telling you, hey,
yeah.
we're gonna jump really quick into a segment that I really like. That is, I actually signed it just for you. It's for like four questions really fast that you need to think really fast and answer
Oh
really
gosh.
fast. So if I ask you right now, before because we are having just few minutes left before we go. So if I ask you, what is your favorite word?
Oh gosh. Music. Music.
Love it. What are you not very good at?
What am I not very good? Going to sleep early.
Okay, so now we are two. So if you could have one superpower, what would it be?
Oh. Hmm. Oh
Fast,
gosh.
fast, fast.
Oh, that's hard. Um, all the knowledge in the world.
That's good. If you were a type of food, what type of food would you be?
Cuban food.
Cuban food.
Cuban
Let's go. Hey, good job. Well done. Well done. Well done.
food.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey, and I'm telling you, Katie, it is, an amazing, amazing, TV production and telecommunication graduate that she has big aspirations. So all my friends down there in telecommunications in South Florida, Cady Casellas, this is my official introduction to all of you. Yes, I have good friends actually in the Pembroke Pine area, West Palm, and Miami, of course.
Yeah.
In the Hialeah Park Casino, my Hialeah Park Casino family. Hello to you guys. So let me ask you, Katie,
Yeah.
how do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Ooh, 5 years from now. Definitely already breaking through the radio industry. Get it. even within the next year, getting that career started, continued actually, because I already started it with Chisme con Katie. Um, but yeah, just like making sure that I'm continuing to do what I love, which is radio. So, and even if that path changes, I want to make sure that I'm following, wherever I'm at in that moment, whether it's going to production or somewhere else in the entertainment industry. There's like endless possibilities with communications, but radio is my passion. So that's where I see myself in 5 years, continuing to be a radio personality.
And that is fantastic. And right now, do you have anything in mind? When you see this situation with this pandemic, that I mean, radio it is very different because you don't need to be, you don't need to to be surrounded by many people at the studio. But it's still, how do you plan to deal with this pandemic, applying for jobs, and you probably I don't know, meeting people, networking, because
Yeah.
in this area, which is entertainment. So in the box of entertainment comes, restaurant, movie theaters, which is music of all types. It is so huge.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what my point here is like networking with people is so
It's the
important.
biggest thing in like anything communications, especially networking is like the thing that will get you there. Yes, you need talent, but also like to an extent, because networking it's all about who you know. It's all about who you know. And I've been continuing networking with people online. I always network with radio hosts on Instagram. I'm a part of this group on Instagram called Women in Radio. I've like talked to so many different radio personalities all across the US just through there. Um, and yeah, that's one of my plans to continue through this pandemic, is just like not even like expecting anything. I never expect anything out of anybody. I'm there to learn from them. I look up to so many like radio hosts on that are a part of Women in Radio, Women on Air, the Radio Fam, all of those like pages and those groups, and I see how what they do, and I want to learn from them. So yeah, continuing networking throughout this time, that's really important for any major any
That is
career.
that is awesome, and Katie, that's it's so wonderful to see somebody as young as you, so passionate, so dedicated, and with that will, with the will, there is 5 words that I always said, and we have mentioned before a long time ago in the show, that 5 words that they are gonna change your life. You that are watching, that you have that, and those 5 words are very simple. It is the will to do it. When you have the will to do it, you are going to accomplish your dreams, your goals. Anyhow, you're going to move forward, and I see that within you, that you have, Les Brown used to say, you have something special, you have greatness within you, and I am telling you today that you have something special too. And yes, and you are confident, humble, and I love the fact that you feel proud of of what you do, and you feel that energy, and that constant passion that is like a drive. So
Yeah.
that's amazing. And it is very important for our generation. I am getting into I am trying to see myself as your generation. I am like 7 years older, but anyways, we need that in your generation. We need that passion. We need that drive. We need that dedication. We need that. We need to be laser focused on your dreams and to think about it. Think about this. Like when you say, "I am gonna make it," no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, we are going to make it regardless any pandemic, regardless any situation. If you have the will to do it, you are going to make it, and I am telling you that you will do it. So what a pleasure to have you here, Katie. What a
Thank you
pleasure.
for having me on the show.
Before we go, what would you say to your generation, that you are part of the millennium, right?
Gen Z technically.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
what would you say to, let's say, the new generation?
Yeah.
Let's say the generation that it is trying to become, to become like a personality, a radio personality, a celebrity reporter, a news reporter, talk to the new generation right now and tell them in their eyes,
Yeah.
what do you think of this before we
Yeah,
go?
so being a personality, a lot of people might have like a misconception that you kind of have to like be a certain way, but like especially for radio, it's about being true to yourself and being you. So whenever I open the mic and I go on air, that's me, like that's real. Like I'm actually like, when I'm laughing about something on air, I'm genuinely laughing about it. Like it's something I'm passionate about. I speak about what I'm passionate about. And that, I think that's very important, to make sure that you're not putting on this fake face that you have to go through every day, in life, like in your career, that you're doing something that you can be true to yourself. And that's where I feel with radio. So
that is awesome. Cady, it has been truly an honor to have you here. So wonderful. This this Wednesday morning. Thank you so much for your time, for inspiring our morning coffee community. I feel inspired, by your passion as well. I am very passionate myself as well to meet and being able to talk to somebody like you. Keeps me going. I always say, let's go, let's make it happen. Regardless, we're gonna do it anyhow. And yes, we got what it takes. You that are watching got what it takes. So
yes.
Go all in. You need to be all in for your dreams, for your goals. Cady, thank you so much. And stay safe, stay home. And as I always say, guys, stay tuned, stay happy, and live full. We're gonna see you back on Friday with Unforgettable Moments Company. Yes. Thank you, Cady.
Bye, thank you.
Guys, thank you very much for watching Morning Coffee with Elio. Yes, we're really looking forward to seeing you Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do not forget to like us and follow us on Facebook and become part of the Morning Coffee with Elio community. Stay tuned, stay inspired, and live full.